Hello everyone, I'm Kuldeep Singh Shekhat from third year mechanical engineering, and today we have one of our seniors from 2017 batch, Srinath Puljo sir, and he was coordinator in TNP cell, and right now he's working as an engineering cadet at Anglo Eastern. So let's talk to him about the opportunities in mechanical engineering and how the job market is around, and learn from his experiences that we don't learn at early stages in our BTech. Let's begin with your placement journey. Like, how would you describe your journey? Was it smooth? Did you face any rejections?
Okay. First of all, thank you, Kuldeep, for that lovely introduction. And if you ask me about my placement journey, it was not smooth at all. I would say that because I was being a part of training and placement cell way from my second year onwards. And my placement journey started, I think, in the fifth semester when I was in the third year. That is the first semester, third year, first semester. And there is a PPO offer from one company, and I have given my best, I thought. But it is not enough for me to get over the line. At the end of the day, I was disappointed, and when you're given the best and you're not selected, it is obvious that you will get disappointed. And just what I thought is just sit on peacefully, and I thought I have taken one A4 sheet and have written what are the positives and negatives from that interview. So from the negatives, I have pointed out that I have missed the lack of confidence and lack of expressing yourself out, clarity of thought, and honesty. And these are the points I have been missed out. So अगर गलती खुद से रियलाइज हो जाता है ना, वो जिंदगी भर पक्का हो जाता है. गलती करो बार बार, लेकिन एक एक गलती एक बार. तो दिस हैव बीन माय मोटो, एंड आई हैव, उसके बाद मैंने कभी डरा नहीं हूँ. हैव लॉट्स ऑफ फेलियर इंटरव्यूज एंड ऑल, बट उतना डिसअपॉइंट नहीं हुआ उसके बाद भी. तो मैंने क्या किया, have trying to be better of myself from the previous day, and at last the opportunity came in the month of May and the Anglo Eastern. So finally, after a long wait, I have been placed, and I'm lucky enough with the blessings of teachers, parents, and God.
You went through so many interviews. Can you give brief about each step of those interviews, like from aptitude to final HR interview, and like how much like each of one weights, like the importance of each. So
Okay, I will tell you about the aptitude test of on that is the online test of Infosys first. It is the off-campus hiring also. The total nationwide competition is there, and there was an online test. They mostly concentrate on the aptitude, that is the mathematical skills the students should possess, and
they include coding also, right?
coding also, some technical questions as well. And it is like MCQ types of questions. And in some IT companies, they ask direct coding questions also. Like in TCS, I have written some basic codings that you have learned in your first year, and that was not a problem. But the main problem comes in the interviews, with which first there is an online test. Once you clear that, they will send you a mail that you have shortlisted. Then you will be sent up to the interview panel. Actually, there was a 2 to 3 interviews, like TR, HR, technical round, HR round. But because of the pandemic and the virtual type, it was going through a single mode, that is a single interview, where they combine the questions from TR and HR. So that is where the real main exam begins. They will try to ask your flexibility to any job, why you are choosing IT from mechanical being here, and there is no managerial round, direct HR round, and the results. These were the IT, and coming to my Anglo Eastern, it started with the online test as well. Simple basic tested. It tested the knowledge from the second year, mainly second year and third year, and after that, in that online test only, there is a psychometric test as well. It also possesses a huge weightage. Psychometric test. After that interview, it was all about the medicals. They have to clear the medical fitness test, and then
because they're going to marine.
yeah, yeah, you have to be fit enough to join the job.
So the regular process is quite long, and it was shorter because of the pandemic.
Pandemic. Yeah, yeah. If it is offline, you have to give the interview interview in the Mumbai and Delhi centers only. You will be called up to the Mumbai or Delhi, but it is online. So it is online mode, so it will be easy.
Okay, online modes are easier. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, for the
so
interview.
that's comfortable.
Not to
Okay.
go there and here.
Okay, so you're talking about in terms of travel difficulties, not the difficulties in the interview itself. Like,
Absolutely.
so giving interview on a laptop is much easier. So if chance, we should opt for that. So you are
Yeah.
saying that. Let's talk about specifically core companies. Like when targeting a core company, what are the things that you should keep in mind other than academics?
Except the subject knowledge, whether you have the practical skills or not, whether you have the basics or not. Just examine what type of the company that you are looking for, and be prepared for that company, whether it is in the manufacturing side, design side, or whether it is in the thermal side. Just examine for what you're looking for the company, and just be prepared. If you are in the second year or third year and you want to get into the placement side, take one area of interest and apply the block dig deep. And that means just follow up the questions that are what are the interview questions in that area of interest, because when you go to the interviews, they will not ask whole the things, whole domains. They will ask what is your area of interest. Then afterwards you will say the machine design. They will start from the strength of materials as well, because design basics come from the strength of materials. So
Yeah.
in that area, if you are thermal and fluid will come into the same part only. So apply the formula of dig deep, and if you are interested in automobiles, do the internships in automobiles, IC engines, and when you are in the designing sector, CATIA, ProE, SolidWorks, learn these softwares, and this will add up in the resume. And be precise what you are putting in your resume, because that is the paper that you are showing to the interviewer, that ask from here, sir, this is my resume. So he will definitely ask from there. If you are not telling your main points which are mentioned in this resume, then it will give a bad impression. So what my suggestion is, be precise what you're keeping in resume, and be thorough with that. Everything, don't keep unnecessary things if you're doing anything, because if you asked about that, that will give a bad impression.
Okay, so only add things that you are very confident about, and also be
And
prepared. Like
like,
if you have.
and do the internships which you are familiar and you want, you have the interest only. Because if you are not interested and you have, for the certificate sake, you have done the internship and you have kept that in that resume, and the interviewer ask about that, and you will not say, that is a big mistake. So be precise what you're keeping.
Okay, so like you did an internship, but then it turned out to be bad. You have the certificate. So if you don't, if you have the certificate but you haven't done the work, then you should not add the certificate just to show off, because they'll ask questions.
Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah. So
Keep that
to
point.
everyone who is collecting certificates, it's not a good idea. you know, unnecessary certificates, and they don't know the actual skills. So that can create problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So also things about extracurricular activities, like we right now we are in online mode, so we don't have a lot of extracurricular activities, but in college we have Udgam and Tech Fest. So, and also smaller ones. So what are the benefits of these extracurricular activities? And also, like you were coordinator in TNP cell, so you had a position of responsibility. So how does that affect the image in front of the recruiter, and like how do they evaluate these things?
Definitely, it adds up to your resume or something, because you have to be differ from your friends or other competence, whether they are in the recruiting. So you have to be different from others. So this definitely adds up, because they will look for the candidates who is good at extracurricular activities. I've been a part of training and placement cell. It boosted my confidence, because I know the process, what is the process going on. So there is no fear for me for the interviews. So it definitely adds up. But don't take it granted that for the placement purpose you join the training and placement cell, and you are, don't take that granted that you will get placed up. It all about showing commitment towards your work and learning from them what you have done, and learning from them and experiencing the work. This all matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, so they are like hidden ones, and they don't just show up right up, but they will be and reflected in your personality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what.
I want to ask you about internships also. Like hands-on work is really important, but now we are doing things online. And even if we did things online, sometimes, we go to internships and they turn out to be, not so good. You know, so we only, end up with a certificate, but not so much of hands-on work. And hopefully coming batches won't do things online, the pandemic will end. But if it stays for a little bit longer, then what would be your advice for those to do things online in an effective way? So like when you suggested learning softwares like Katia, SolidWorks. So let's have a little bit more discussion about that.
Yeah, that's a good question. The situation is very bad outside, so the things are going online. So be precise of what you're choosing. And again, I have told you earlier, if you're not interested, don't do that. Yeah, that will definitely backstep you. Just precise what you're doing, and in online internships also do that which involve the software things, the simulation part, the ANSYS and ProE, ANSA. These kind of softwares will teach you a lot. Whether you're when you're going to the designing side, or some internships that will teach you about the practical skills as well, like Skyrider institutions. I have told you, I think when you are in the third year, and they will teach you about the automobiles in the online only. The practical trainers who are working in the Ashok Leyland, the companies only, they will come forward and teach you. Choose that type of internships. They will teach you the practical things also. And if the this online mode gets into the offline, go to the CITD, that is in Hyderabad. They will teach you the SolidWorks and all the softwares in their the company.
Okay, so like we have, mechanical engineering has done a transition from, doing hands-on work to going on softwares. And like I
Yeah,
also feel
there
like,
is a
these are absolute necessity. Everyone should learn these, like basics one, AutoCAD, and at least one 3D modeling software.
just concentrate on the ANSYS, ANSA, CATIA, ProE, and NXCAD. NXCAD is the new version that is a competent to the CATIA V5. So try to focus on these new softwares as well, because the technology is changing. They are implementing the new tools. So this will be helpful. My suggestion.
So yeah, so these technology are changing, and so are the job markets.
Yeah.
So what have you seen the recent trends in job market around the core branches? Like it's not the job offers that were 10 years ago, they're not same as today. The responsibilities are not same as today. So what are the things that we can expect from the job market, like, or the job market is expecting from us, so we can prepare that from early stages.
If you are concentrating on the mechanical, pure mechanical, the job market, the jobs they will train you. Obviously, they will train you, but you have to be
Okay.
perfect the basics, right from the basics. You have to be perfect, and you have to be hungry to learn. That keeps motivating, so
Let's talk about placement stats. You know, what are the trends that you recognized, and how does that vary when you go off campus?
actually, 21 or 21 students registered for this placement session, and out of that, 10 were placed among the IT and core, and two people they are going for the higher studies. One got selected in the Arizona State University, and there was actually the mix of all the core and the IT. I think 3 to 4 people they are selected in IT, then the core. There was companies actually for my batch. It was very difficult because they freeze the hiring because of this pandemic. But the coming batches that will definitely improve as they are opening up the hiring sessions. So this is the good opportunity for your batches because they will recruit in large numbers as they stop the hiring for our batches. So be concentrate on that. You have a good opportunity.
And how does this affect going off campus?
This is huge. In if you are trying from off campus, when you're out of the NIT, that's very tough. Crack when you are in the campus only because the ratio will be differ. For one job, there will be 5 competitors when you are in the in campus, but when you go outside campus, thousands. The ratio will become thousands. For one job, there will be thousands of competence. So plan accordingly when you are in the second year only, whether to go to the higher studies or placements. Plan accordingly and start preparing from there itself from second year onwards.
Yeah, we talked a lot about what we should do and how we should do. But let's add some few points on what are the things that we should strictly avoid. Like they are like deal breakers for recruiters. Things you must have encountered those.
As I said earlier, be honest. Be honest. This is the key point. This will hamper your if you are not if you have not done anything, you have not done something, and you have shown it in the resume, and the recruiter asks from that, and you are not able to say able to answer that question. That will definitely hamper your entire process. And just do no need to say, answer all that. If the recruiter asks 10 questions and you are answering about 5 to 6 questions and you are answered one question that is the deep in knowledge, you have told him that he don't know that point, then definitely he will hire you. It's not on the basis of whether you have answered 3 or 4 questions, but don't um, don't mistake the question that if he asks the basic questions, like if you asked what is the Archimedes principle, what is the Bernoulli equation, you are answering such a good questions and you are not answering these type of questions, that will definitely hit you. Learn with the basics are the key points and be honest and avoid the mistakes. That is the lack of confidence, clarity of thought. Be prepared before the and start the placement preparation early. That will boost
As
you.
early as possible.
If the company arrives and when you are in fourth year, the company arrives and you are start preparing the aptitude, there is no meeting at all. So be prepared with the aptitude way from the second year and third year itself. And placement team will definitely help you in that. They will conduct the mock test in the from third year itself. So be prepared in the placement path. I would suggest that.
Yeah. Yeah, we should start preparing early. That's why we have these videos, so that people who didn't know these things earlier can now know from experience of our seniors. So okay, so next thing we will talk about is career choices between higher studies and going for a job. Like after we have made these choices, how do things change? What are the things that you do after you've chosen career studies? The direction, and after the job, and how you move up the ladder in job, and the same thing in higher studies.
You have to take this decision early. I mean in the second year, when you are in the second year, take these decisions whether you have to go for the higher studies or you want to get the job. If you are planning for gate, I don't know, means you have to be clear enough what you want to do. After cracking gate, you have some marks, so you want to do what, MTech or higher studies, what you want to do. Just be question yourself what you want to do. Just don't go that I want to crack the gate, and later if you are not enough with the basics and problematic skills, definitely you will ruin your BTech life. And if you want to the higher studies, that is a MS masters, better to go abroad, Germany, Australia, Canada, obviously US is a better option. So Germany, prefer Germany because the tuition fees is less, and the salaries will be higher, and the mechanical hub, I think.
Yeah, Germany is like, hub of cars and automotive
Uh,
industry. Yeah, so that should be the first choice. And thank you so much for your time. And I hope we'll talk to you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Hello everyone, my name is Kuldeep Singh Shekhat. I'm from third year mechanical engineering, and today I have one of our I have got